Good evening, everybody. I'm Richard Mould. Currently I'm the head of procurement and vendors and infrastructure for LOCOG, the London Organising Committee of the Paralympic Games. I hold that role until the 14th of December, and then leave the organisation after 6 years of being there. Anybody who's worked in an organising committee, has any sort of familiarity with the organising committee, will know that 6 years is a very, very long time in the life of an organising committee. And we go through a planning phase, so we started after the bid, when we were successful. We remember back to Paris being the front runner, us bidding at the pipes. You go into a planning phase for probably 2 years, and you spend a lot of time planning. The IOC give you targets to meet during that planning phase. Then you get to the end of the planning phase, sort of 2 years in, chocolate away, and you actually go into an operational. And now the phase of what we call a dissolution, so we're pulling out from the venues. Nothing quite prepares you for spending, I think, 5.5 years of your life doing something, and then 2 weeks it's gone. So it's quite an odd experience for us. Keen now to get back into the real world and see what's out there in 2013. So this was said back in 2005 when we won the bid. There were commitments made, and one of the commitments many of you will recall, they were going to be everyone's games. I think we realised very quickly that not everybody was going to get a ticket, and that's interesting as that then transpired. And not everybody could compete, although there were opportunities for people to start taking up sports, and they did then go on to compete in the Olympics. So we were looking at ways to spread the business benefits, and procurement very quickly. We realised that procurement could actually spread the benefits and make it everyone's games by actually promoting our opportunities. As an organisation, we didn't have a pre-existing supply chain. We weren't taking suppliers from the previous organising committee. We were starting from nothing at all. I mean, genuinely, when I started, it was paperwork, purchase orders, and that was about it. I mean, there was no P2P system. There was no any ability to publicise opportunities and the like. So those were the stuff we had to work on during that planning phase. Some of the commitments we also made in the bid, which procurement did later go on to influence, was the sustainability piece and the D&I diversity inclusion piece. I think I was personally very pleased. I came from a bombs and bullets background, by the way, so sustainability wasn't a big thing to me. I wasn't really particularly tuned into the environmental stuff. There was a colleague who was a complete expert in these things. We jointly wrote a sourcing code. It's 5 years ago now, and that sourcing code has just been commended by the Commission for Sustainable London. It's actually stood the test of time for what it to taking us through the games. So it's one of my sort of personal achievements, and I'm proud of that. Sort of helped co-author that. I maybe proof-checked it for them, but I do try to take a bit more credit for it. And also D&I, we certainly looked to ensure that organisations had the ability to engage with us at the appropriate level, so that our tender documents were very accessible. So we weren't putting very complex tender documents out there, although some were too complex. We did do a lot of work on that to ensure that we could actually spread the business benefits through large organisations down to the small organisations. I think I'll show you some statistics around that a little later. Now there's some technology here. I'm going to try and show you a video. It's 2 months since the Paralympics finished, and there was you'll all remember, it was an awesome summer of achievement, I think, for the nation, for the UK, and also for the athletes. So, technology, I'm going to walk away now, but I'm not the person who can't do this.